Why is it that administration lo unna officers, whether they're IPS, IAS, IRS, whoever they are, why is it sometimes politicized? Why is it that ఒక గవర్నమెంట్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఆ గవర్నమెంట్ తో అసోసియేట్ అయిన ఆఫీసర్స్ నెక్స్ట్ గవర్నమెంట్ రాగానే వేరే వాళ్ళు వస్తారు?
That is wrong.
ఎందుకు అట్లా? Why are the officers?
That is very, very wrong, and I would say it very categorically that is extremely incorrect. ఎందుకంటే you are career bureaucrats. You come for a span of 30-35 years. We will see many leaderships, we will see many changes, and you have to use the rich experience that we have to your advantage. As it is said in English, I'll quote saying, the best master is one who knows all his instruments, how to use his instruments. So then only he is a true master.
True.
Otherwise the instruments will control thing, or he will get overwhelmed with. So a true master is one who knows how to use every instrument, and we are all extremely capable, sharp instruments. So if the political leadership starts viewing us as assets, and they don't allow little, these silly, undercurrents and all, if it's out of the way, then the bureaucracy can be a very, very powerful tool of performance. And I would appeal and pledge to all leaderships, why in my state, across India, pan India, the nature of the bureaucracy is such that we have no choice but to operate in whatever line and tone you set for those years that you are in power. Right? We cannot be viewed as anti-establishment and then suddenly you become pro-establishment. It doesn't work like that. Everybody is operating in some role. So to view people as ex-government, post-government, these are absolutely unnecessary, and I believe a solid waste of talent.
When you're operating for long years under one government,
yes, there's a perception. There's a perception.
Don't you get influenced towards the leaders or the government or their policies? You feel, oh my God, they're really doing such great work.
Okay, let me put it this way. See, when you are part of a movie and you're working, with a particular director or with a particular producer or with a set of actors, don't you get involved in the process? Don't you get involved? Aren't you committed to the, to the delivery of a beautiful hit movie?
True.
So somewhere can you de-link in your brain, think that, oh no, I should not be committed to the movie, I should not be committed to so-and-so. It doesn't work like that. Human intention is always wonderful and beautiful when it is committed. I'm putting it in a little philosophical way.
Yeah, got it. I got it.
Without commitment to any purpose in life, you will not be able to deliver. So I would say that whole association or commitment is not to the leader, it is to the purpose. If there is a certain set of schemes or a certain set of delivery items which the government wants, if the bureaucrat is truly committed to that only, he or she will deliver. In that process, if you think he is committed to the leader, then that's a problem of perception.
Okay. But why do we get to hear that most of these IAS officers at a point of time, after a point of time,
some of
they
them
get into politics?
Many of these IAS officers, maybe that is why this perception has come. They actually tend to align with some political parties. They will enter the so-called, they cross the Lakshman Rekha, and they enter that fine line where it's pure politics or, political ideology is their motivation. That is where the rest of us suffer. For the last 10 years, I'm hearing, madam, you will be joining politics. I have no idea why. Tell me one thing, have you seen me doing one political activity? Either in my work sphere or in my personal sphere? Then why this imagination? There are many aspiring politicians within the bureaucracy. Why don't you people focus on them? I don't know why the perception.
That's because of 10 long-standing years in the CMO.
Has it struck the media that it could be because you're very competent, that they couldn't find a replacement for you?
Yeah.
So वो सोचना मुश्किल है, but लेकिन और सब कुछ सोचना आसान है.
Right.
It's each one's individual motivation. I am a very non-committed bureaucrat to any political ideology. That is my basic wiring. That will never change.
Okay.
I get happy to see a good leadership giving good schemes, a good vision, a good implementation for the public. And I will align with any leadership which is willing to do that. And I do have that thought process in terms of clarity today.
Okay.
To know that if it's a wonderful leadership which wants to deliver good results, if I'm not committed to that leadership, there's something wrong with me then. Then I'm not a true IAS officer. Then I'm just being a babu. Yeah. There's a difference. We call you guys call us babus for a reason.
Right.
Why babu? Because we're so status quo. We don't want change. We want to be all powerful. We want to hold the instrument of status quo. But I am not wired like that. I love change. I love transformative change. I am not the one to hold on to things. I want the results to reach the public. That's my orientation. So maybe I'm not a textbook. I'm a bit of a maverick, but that's how I am.
While climbing the ladder of power, whatever it is, from district collector to collector to the next to the secretary, whatever, that climbing the ladder of power.
Yeah.
Eppudaina, I'm sure you must have heard things like, oh, she had it her way. So
I've always had it my way.
And in a different way.
In a different way.
In a negative sense, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Oh, she had it her way. That's
Really?
the reason she climbed the ladder of power.
I'll tell you one thing, Prema, maybe that way we are luckier. In the administrative service, it's a very slow ascent. It's not a sudden rise of career. Okay. So everybody goes through the milestones. If you are sub-collector, then you become joint collector, then you become district collector, then you become additional secretary, then you become joint secretary. But nobody, Smita Sabharwal didn't become additional secretary to CM before her time. She achieved the scale. She was conferred additional secretary to government before, she was taken to CMO. So what I mean to say is nothing came out of the out of the line. There is a certain number of years which you have to give. So we have to mandatorily complete 14 years of service. I completed 14 years of service on January 2014, and it is June 9th that I became additional secretary to CM.
Yeah.
So nothing came out of line. We earned every stripe. We have earned every day in our careers. So when people talk nonsense, that is where I cut it. It is also your job as an officer, as a public servant, to keep raising your voice, to keep putting out the right narrative. You cannot shut out everybody's thought process. It's not in your control. But what I try to do personally is to sometimes correct a view or something which I believe is absolutely uncalled for.
Yeah.
It has always been my attempt. In fact, when you mentioned Outlook, the world has forgotten Outlook. But when Outlook happened, I didn't take it lying down. They tried to trivialize my appointment by putting out an extremely vulgar and concocted story, which I could not imagine. I was sleepless for nights, thinking, does society genuinely think like this? You have 15 years of hard work behind you. You are an all India ranker. What is so difficult to understand that you are being appointed in a CMO? Some strange imagination of somebody that because she is so and so. I am nobody. I don't have any caste equations. I don't have any mentors. I don't have any big family supporting me anywhere. I come from a simple, basic Fauji family. And I made it on the basis of my merit and my hard work.
Yeah.
So for you to still think all those things, there's some problem with you. It's my attempt to sometimes correct that narrative. When I challenged Outlook and dragged them to court, it was my attempt to correct that narrative so that other working women don't, feel for one day that we should keep quiet. Why should you keep quiet?
Right.